Basically. So 1 second. So maybe you could be ma'ayin in this message I saw from Seasons in Scarsdale.
Yeah.
I just I'll read it to you, okay? 1 second.
Train approaching.
Yeah.
Andy, what is going on, Andy? I could rewrite the letter.
1 second. Okay, here. Okay, hold on. Here, I found it.
Andy, we all fell asleep. I had a dream about it.
A message from Seasons of Scarsdale stands with young Israel of New Rochelle and the greater New Rochelle community during this difficult time. We want to ensure that the entire community has everything they need now and throughout Shabbat. And we'll be making deliveries to New Rochelle free of charge. Does that mean the delivery is free or the food is free?
The delivery. I think it's
delivery. It's Seasons. Come on.
Their food is so expensive. I can't afford their food anyway, even with free delivery.
I was reading an article that the people that flew out of France and they got quarantined, they actually made them knock on the door before they did the room service. They have to wait a minute and open the door to give them enough time to get away from the room.
Yeah.
Okay, ready to start? Well, good luck.
Yeah, Shechayanu. Who's going to bring me food from the 5 towns?
I don't know.
Nobody.
Shechayanu, you work halfway here. That
Maybe
was a hint to you.
All right, I'm muting everybody.
All right, well, good luck. Chazara, you had definition of earthquakes. Then we had the definition of thunder, definition of wind, definition of lightning, clouds, making a bracha on rainbow, making a bracha on mountains and valleys, and then making a bracha on clear skies. Right? Then we said on Amud Beis, bracha on the cycle of the sun and the solar system. Right? To make the bracha on the above things as if they've seen every 30 days. Then we discussed Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Bracha on rain, bracha on Shechayanu and Atayva Metiv, right? Atayva Metiv you make if it's for you and somebody else. Shechayanu is if it's you alone. Okay, now we start with this Gemara. It's a pretty long daf, and we're running a little late. I apologize about that. Okay, so Bona Bayis Chadash, right at the bottom of New Testament base. Bona Bayis Chadash, V'kana Kelim Chadashim, right? If you build a new house, and you're kind of new Kelim, so we're continuing with Shechayanu. Yeah, so meaning so you're supposed to make a bracha of Shechayanu when you get a new house and when you get new kelim. So that's only if you don't have similar things. But if you do have similar things, that you don't make a bracha. Meaning, according to this, if you have a suit and then you get a new suit, you don't make a bracha on the new suit because you already have a suit. So how exciting is it to have another suit?
What about a house?
What?
What about something like a house?
House too, unless the house is much bigger.
Oh, she said.
Happier out, but if it's like the same type house that you have, so then according to this, we're going to see varying opinions, but that's what it says now. Rabbi Yochanan says no, even if you have a suit like that or a house like that, you still make a bracha. So mechlal. So what can we learn out from that? Let's say you bought something, and then you returned it, and then you went and bought it again, right? Then for sure, then everybody would say you don't have to make a bracha on that, right? Because you don't have that much excitement. Yeah. So then that's one way of learning. Then there's another way. It only teaches us this if you didn't buy it. Now, this Gemara is going to be the opposite of what we just said. Again, that's only talking about where you did not buy it and then go back and buy it again, meaning it was bought from scratch. But if you bought it and then you went back on it and then you bought it again, then you don't have to make a bracha. Yeah. But Rabbi Yochanan says, no, even if you bought it and you go back and bought it again, you do need to make a bracha. that what can we learn from this? That if you have and v'kana, then you bought something divrei hakol tzarich l'varach, then everybody would hold that you need to make a bracha, right? So it's basically the same opinion. It's just a matter if it's according to everybody or it's not according to everybody. So meisvei bana bayis chadash vein lo ki yotzei. If you built a house and you don't have a similar house, right? That's an important word. You built a house and you don't have a similar one. And you bought new kalim, new clothing, new utensils, new watch, jewelry, whatever it is, and you don't have anything similar, then you need to make a bracha. If you do have suits already and jewelry, whatever it is, then you don't make a bracha. That's what Rameir says. Either way, you have to make a bracha. Right? So now we're going to try and fit these two versions of the Machlokes Amoraim into this brisa. So according to the first lashon, Rav Huna saying like Rameir, Rav Yochanan saying like Rav Yehuda, and everything works out. But according to the second lashon, that says that according to everybody, even if you have something, you'd have to make a new bracha. Bishlam Rav Huna Rav Yehuda. So it's good Rav Huna. He could say like Rav Yehuda, El Rav Yochanan Damar Kaman. Who's Rav Yochanan going to go like? That again, Rav Yochanan is the one that says if you own it and then you went back and you returned and then you bought it again, and you would have to make a bracha, right? Who's he like? Come on, like Rav Meir or like Rav Yehuda? He's not like Rav Meir or Rav Yehuda. So must be it's like the first version of their machlokes. No, Rav Yehuda also holds that if you bought it and you returned it and you bought it again, you need to make a bracha. So then why is he not saying that? And why is he only saying that he disagrees where he has and he bought it? He's coming to teach you the koyach of Rameir, the afilu kana v'yeshlai, even if you bought it and v'yeshlai and you have others, ain't tzarich levarach, you still don't need to make a bracha. But kol shekain kana v'chazav kana. Of course, if you bought it and you went back and returned it, the ain't tzarich levarach, you don't need to make a bracha. Same thing Gemara says, "V'liflagu b'kana v'chazav b'kana." Or so then why don't they just have an argument where they bought it and he went back and bought it? That you don't need a bracha. So we say like diach koyach Rav Yehuda because that's coming to teach you the koyach of Rav Yehuda, and koyach datera adiflei, and the koyach of heter is better. Okay, so that's a little bit of a complicated Gemara back and forth. At the end of the day, we just have to know that there's a machlokes over whether you should make Shechayanu on new things, even if you have the old. You already have it. Meaning, should you or should you not?
But what about kana v'chaz v'kana? You buy something, you return, and you buy it. But you don't have any others.
No, you still wouldn't because you already bought it. It doesn't. It's not so.
So you made
according
it
to
before,
that opinion.
You made it before you returned it.
No, you didn't make it. You didn't make. You never made it. Then you returned it. And then now Taisus, how do we paskin? So look at the Taisus on the bottom of Nun Tes Amud Beis. Rav Yochanan afilu kana ki yatzman v'hilchasik Rav Yochanan alibed delishna basra. The halacha is like Rav Yochanan, according to the second lashon, afilu kana v'hadar kana shayu lokelim chadashim ki yatzbeil tzarich levarach. Even if you bought it and you either returned it, or if you bought it and then you bought more, right? Which either way, right? I keep saying the example is buying it and then returning and buying it, but it's even buying it and then even buying more, right? We would still hold that you make the bracha. The kaim like Rav Yochanan lagavi the Rav, right? Because we all passing like Rav Yochanan when he's having a machlokes with Rav. The Gabi Rav, he'll say, fine. So, whatever it is. So Taisus is saying that we paskin like Rav Yochanan. Then the Re says, "B'dafke begadim chashuvim dumya debayis chadash," right? Nakat kelim chadashim, right? Only chashuv clothing. Aval sheinam chashuvim kol kach. But if it's clothing that's not so chashuv, kemay menalim v'anpilois v'chaluk. But let's say it's shoes and socks and stama shirt. Ukiyotz ben ein tzarich levarach. It's an interesting lashon Taisus is saying. Taisus is saying you don't need to make a bracha. It's mashma that theoretically you could make a bracha if you wanted to, right? Yeah. So that's what we got to take out from the Taisus. Bottom line is many people do make brachas on new clothing. If that makes you happy, I personally do not, but it doesn't make me happy, so I'm not a right to anything. Yeah. Fine. So mavarich ala ra, except for ties, Yosef. Okay, so it's only a tie maybe. You know what I mean? Okay, mavarich ala ra. Right. So you make a bracha on the bed, right? Hechi dami What's an example of making a bracha on something bad? You're going to shakal batka ba'are. So your land got flooded. Avagav the tavuhi l'didei, right? Even though it's good for you, damaskara sirtun ushvacha hashnami aroi. So even though it's going to be good for you eventually, because it's going to make your land soft, right? And it's going to be very easy to irrigate and cultivate it. But hashnami aroi. The bottom line is, right now it's bad. When your land floods, it's going to be bad. But in the future, it's going to be okay. Fine. Vala toiva. Now, what about you make a bracha on the good? Hey, Chidami, what's the case of that? You're going to Ashkach Mitziyah, you found a lost object. Afagav the Rahi Lididei, even though it's going to be bad for you, Di Shama Bamalka, because if the king hears that you found something, Shakulamina is going to take it from you. But Hashnamiya Toibahi, but right now it's good. So you make a bracha. Basically, what we're saying is you make the bracha based on what's going on now, not based on what's going on in the future. Okay? Fine. If a woman is pregnant, right? So if your wife's pregnant, then you make a bracha that you, or you say you daven that you want the baby to be a boy, so then it's worthless, right? So the Gemara says v'loy mahani rachmi, and v'loy mahani rachmi, and it does not help to, it doesn't help rachman. The tefillas are not going to help. Right? Masav Rav Yosef, Asher Yalda Bas, and after that, Leah had a daughter. Particular Shema Dina, and he called her name Dina. My Va'acher, what does it mean, Va'acher? Right? So this is a famous thing. Omar Rav, La'acher Shadona Leah, Din Ba'atzma, after Leah said a din on herself, Omar Yudbe Shvatim, Asidin Latzis Miyakov, there are going to be 12 tribes, right? 12 Shvatim coming out from Yaakov. Shisha Yotzim Mimeni, 6 are coming from me, Va'arba Min HaShvachas, and 4 from Billah and Zilpah, right? So, Harei Asara, that's 10. Imzeh Zachar, so if I'm going to have a male, so my sister Rachel is only going to end up with one son. That means that the slaves are going to have more kids than Rachel, right? Because Leah is going to have 6 boys. The slaves are going to have 4. I'm sorry, Leah is going to have 7. Slaves are going to have 4. Right, so that's 11, and then Rachel's only going to have 1, meaning the slaves are going to have 4, each one's going to have 2, and Rachel's only going to have 1. Rachel is the first word of the line. 7 wide lines down. Rachel's the first word on the line. Yeah. So therefore, what happened? Leah realized that's going to be bad. So miyad nefcha labas. So right when Leah davened for that, so it switched from being a male to a female. And it switched to Dina. Shenemar v'tikra shema Dina, and she called her name Dina. Yeah. So whatever it is, you see that Leah was able to daven and have the gender, what do you call it? Have the gender changed. So more answers. You don't bring in miracles to this. Or another answer is that Leah did the davening before the fetus is 40 days old. The first 3 days after being together with one's wife, you should daven that it shouldn't, the zera shouldn't decay and not be able to impregnate. From day 3 until day 40, you should ask for pity that it should be a male. 40 days until 3 months, that it shouldn't come out like a sandal, meaning it shouldn't be smashed up like a miscarriage. From 3 months to 6 months, that it shouldn't be a nafel, meaning it shouldn't be a stillborn or a miscarriage. From not the 6th month to the 9th month, you should ask that it should go on peacefully. Right? So that's what you're supposed to do. So Gemara says, does it even help to daven? And this we have, this is a famous Gemara. Rashi brings in Chumash also. If the man is Mazriya first, if the man puts out the Zera first, then it's going to be a Nekeva. Isha Mazras Tchila. If a woman puts out the seed first, then it's going to be a Yaleda Zachar. It's going to be a male. Shanamar Isha says Yaleda Zachar, right? That's a woman who's going to be Mazriya, and then she's going to have a Zachar, right? So what's the point of davening for it if he's Mazriya first, it's going to be a female. If she's Mazriya first, it's going to be a male. So what's the point of davening? So we're going to answer. No, here it's talking about where they're both Mazriya at the same exact time. So there, it would help for you to daven. Fine. So
Yaakov, you can maybe say, Raya, that maybe Rivka could have davened that Yaakov has 13 kids. Why change it to a girl? Why not change the what's it called, that he doesn't have 12, he'll have 13.
I hear that. I hear what you're saying.
You mean that Leah should have davened, not Rivka.
What?
Leah. Parents, you said Rivka should have davened.
Leah.
No, yeah, but it seems like she knew that there was only going to be 12. You're saying, why not daven for a nace the other way?
Right.
No,
right.
And Rabbi, more than that.
Oh, look who's back. I haven't heard you for a while.
We do have 13 Shvatim. Menashe and Ephraim. So we anyways have 13 Shvatim.
Yeah, so that they discussed. That Menashe Ephraim comes out from Rachel. Yeah. The Sfarim discussed that. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Parents, you see, I pay attention to you more than the rabbis.
There you go. How you Baba Derek? Yeah, weiter. So if you're coming on the way, turn about a mice bill, let's talk and show you Baba Derek. Right? We said if you come in the way and you hear screaming and yelling in the city, so if you're gonna daven that it shouldn't be your house, it's meaningless, because if it was your house, it happened already. Right? So turn about a mice bill, let's talk and show you Baba Derek. Hillelzang was traveling. Vashama called Sacha Be'ir, and he heard yelling in the city. Amar muftach ani shein ze b'soich beisi. I'm muftach that it's not in my house. From a shmua ra, you shouldn't be scared, and you should have betachon in Hashem. Right? So Amar Rava Kolech, meaning, so what was he saying? He was saying that I'm guaranteed that it's not in my house because I'm thinking positive. Right? That's basically what the Gemara is saying. Amar Rava Kolech the Berachos la'ikra. Meaning we can dash in this pasuk from the beginning of the pasuk to the end of the pasuk, or we can go the other way around and dash in from the end to the beginning. Right? From bad news, you shouldn't be scared. Because a proper thing to do is that you just have betachon, and then you don't get scared. You hear that enough told. If you have betachon, you're not scared.
Okay.
Isn't
davening to Hashem showing some type of betachon and emunah in Hakadosh Baruch Hu anyway?
100%. But here was talking about not to be scared.
To be scared? What's to be scared? There's no difference between saying, please let that not be my house versus I'm confident it's not my house. There's no real practical difference.
There's no practical difference between why he's saying I don't even have to daven for it. Is that, well, I don't know if that's what he meant. He just said that I believe that it's not my house. No, because I'm thinking positive. All right. I don't know. It's a tough thing because you can think positive all you want. And then,
what does betachon mean? Maybe I believe Hashem wants this to happen.
That's true, but that's a reason not to be nervous. If you believe that everything is happening is from Hashem and all that, then there's nothing to be nervous, because if Hashem decides that that's what has to happen to you, then that's what has to happen to you. Okay, it's easier said than done, obviously. Okay. If you should have betachon in Hashem, and then don't be scared from any bad news. Yeah. So Talmid Davakazel Basred Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi Beshuka the Tzion. He was going in the Shuk of Tzion. Chazi the Kamafchid. He saw that he's scared. Amalei Chatoat. You're doing a chet. You're scared. You're doing something wrong.
Why is he scared in the Shuk?
I don't. What was he scared in the Shuk? I don't know why. I don't know why he was scared. Does Rashi say? I don't think anybody says. Yeah, so he was scared. So he said, "You're doing a chet."
Rabbi, on the side, they say that he was scared that something's happening in his house.
The side of where?
On the Mesivta side. On the article.
Mesivta says that? I didn't look at Mesivta. Yeah. Mesivta says that?
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering because I think I even looked in article. I don't think article says.
I'm going to take a picture and send you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So, Pachadu B'tzion Chata. So if you're scared and seeing, then it's a chet. But the pasuk says, praiseworthy is a person who's always scared. No, you're supposed to be scared about divrei Torah, right? You have to be scared that you're always going to forget your Torah. That's a good scared, but don't be scared about anything else, right? So no scared about Aaron's wife, no being scared about viruses and all that type of stuff. Yeah? Okay. Yehuda ben Nasim have a shock of Azul Basreid Rav Hamnuna.
They don't even say, they write anxious.
He was
a better word, anxious.
Anxious. Ooh, that's yeah. So Rabbi Yehuda Bar Nasim was going behind Rav Hamnuna, Asnach. And he sighed, right? We had this yesterday. He got like a big kvetch or a sigh. I'm like, Yisurim boy, do you want Yisurim? Right? Why are you complaining? Or why are you kvetching? I'm sorry. Yisurim boy, does that person, meaning he's talking to the third person, do you want pain to come onto you that you're sighing? But so he says it's the same question. Why if it says you're supposed to be scared constantly, so hahu b'divrei Torah, so that's by divrei Torah. Bottom line is to take out from this Gemara is if you think bad might happen, then bad might happen. That's what you got to do. You got to not think bad. You got to not think about the bad. I mean, a lot of doctors say that positive thinking is very important for a patient. Yeah, hanichnas l'krach. So if somebody goes into a city, when you go into the city, what do you say? And that Hashem should take me into the city in peace. Once you go in, you thank Hashem for bringing me into the city in peace. If he wants to leave the city, then that Hashem should take me out of this city in peace. Yatzar, that he should take me out, that he took me out in peace. Right, that's another form of tefillas haderech. So it's very interesting this, and Shulchan Aruch paskins like this, that this is like an added tefillas haderech. Because tefillas haderech you say it before you travel. Here, the Gemara seems to be saying that you should say this tefillah after you're done traveling too. Right? As far as I know, I think people do not do that. They just say the tefillah haderech before, and that's it. Right? That's only. We only say you need to say this tefillah in a city where it's martial law, where they don't actually have judgments. But if it's a city that has laws and judges, then you don't have this. You don't have to make this tefillah, right? Because you can assume that everything is going to be taken care of legally, right? No, even in a city that does have regular laws and courts and all that, but maybe you're not going to find a witness that's going to support you, so you should still say it. There's an Aruch HaShulchan, there's a controversial Aruch HaShulchan that says, and some say that it was not the Aruch HaShulchan that said it, but he says that this whole din of Mesira, that you're not allowed to hand over a fellow Jew to the government, right, if he's doing something wrong, he says that's only in countries that have no laws. But if it's a country that has laws and they seem to be a fair country, then you are allowed to rat out a Jew. Okay? Take that for whatever you want, but that's the Aruch HaShulchan. It says it in Aruch HaShulchan. The mishal is whether it's him or not. Okay.
Rabbi, I don't want to get into this nicer, but today all the price can say that if someone's shepherding a different kid, if you know what I mean, doing with the kids,
that's a different story. That's not Masira. That's Pashut Pekuach Nefesh.
What do you mean? Why is not? People say that's Roidif.
Roidif. No, so I'm saying, but that's not a din Masira.
And a Yiddish tenant that I want to go and get him out, I also can't go to.
That's something else. Well, according to the Aruch HaShulchan, then you can.
No, forget about the Aruch HaShulchan. According to everyone, you're not allowed to. The tenant's not paying me rent.
If you hold the dinim of Masira are even in legal countries, then maybe not. Okay, it's a complicated shot. Okay, let's go back to Torah. This is very negated too, and people don't do this. Not this part, but the next part. When you go into the bathhouse, that I should be saved from it, and from things similar to it, and nothing should happen to bad to me. And if something bad does happen to me in the bathhouse, then my death should be a kapara. So let's see if the Olam remembers this. We had this way back 40 blood ago. Don't say this. I'll tiftach pel l'satan. Right? By saying this, if something bad happens to me and I die, it should be a kapara. It's not something that you should say. A person should not open his mouth to the satan. What's the pasuk? We're almost like Sadaim, and we're similar to Amira. Maya Hadale Navi. What did Navi answer? Meaning that's what they said. So the Navi said, Shimud Var Hashem Katsini Sadaim. Listen to me, you people from Sadaim. So clearly they opened their mouth and compared themselves to Sadaim, and then the Navi referred to them as if they were Sadaim. So therefore, don't open your mouth about negative things. So Abai is saying, don't say such a tefillah like that. Chinofik Maya. Remember when you leave, what should you say? Thanking Hashem that they saved you from the fire, because the bathhouse has a lot of fire in there to heat up the water. So things could go wrong. So that's what you thank Hashem. So Rabavo went up to the bathhouse, and the floor broke from under him. And then a nace happened. Right, this must have been some major bathhouse, because it's basically the floorboard cracked and he fell through. Come al Amuda, and he held on to one of the beams, and Shaziv Meya v'chad Gavri v'chad Evere, and he basically held on to 101 people were hung on to him, meaning each one, it was like a chain. Rashi says a chain. He held on to one guy, another guy, so 101 people were saved because of this. So he says, Amar Hainu Rav Acha, that's what Rav Acha said. Amar Rav Acha, Nichnas Lahakis Dam, right? Amar Yiratz B'Fanecha Shem Elikai. Hanichnas Lahakis Dam. Amar Yiratz. Oh, one second. Yiratz B'Fanecha Shem Elikai. She Asik Zeh Lila Refuah V'Terpeini. That this Asik should be for me for Refuah, and it should heal me. Kikel Roi Feneman Ata. Right? Hashem is a healer. For us, Emes. The fish ain't dark. Because it's not the derech for humans to do refuah, but the minig is that they do. Right? Amar Abai, we'll discuss it in a second. A person should not say this. The Tani Debei Rabbi Shmuel, Berapa Yirape, it says Berapa Yirape, Mekansha Nitner Resus, the right for the Rapis. Right? Because that tells you that you do have, it gives Rishus to the Raifa to be Merape. Yeah? So basically, we have a machlokes to say whether you should say that really we're not supposed to heal, but we do it anyways, right? Because the pasuk says that you are allowed to heal. Yeah, so that's a point of controversy which we discussed Shavuos night when we had that shir about what's it called? What was the last controversy? Not disease. The shots to make you not have disease.
Right.
What's it called? Immunizations, right? So who gives you the right to do immunizations? Who gives you the right to worry about the coronavirus? Whatever it is. But
who gives you a right not to immunize?
What?
Who gives you a right not to immunize?
Well, if the Gemara here is saying that we don't even have a right to heal, so who says we have a right to be preemptive?
Because then you're pashay to everybody else.
Yeah, but who says everybody else has a right? It's okay. It's not for now, this whole sugya, but this whole sugya of being able to heal people is not so simple. But either way, the Gemara is saying people don't do this. I don't know. Does anybody on this video chat do this? That before you take medicine, do you say this Yiratzim? Because it's brought in Shulchan Aruch.
I do, Rabbi.
You do it?
Yep. It's a sif.
If what?
Yeah, it's a sif mefurish in Shulchan Aruch.
Of course, yeah. You're supposed to say
I think Bela says like an English version of it.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I'm happy that people do this. I really should do this, but we take medicine.
Rabbi, I learned for the best. I learned for my father, Rabbi.
Avada. Yeah, so that's really what it's do. That's really what you're supposed to do. Right? Fine. When you get up, what do you say? benched is somebody who heals for no reason, right? For free, meaning that we're not deserving of it, right? So that it also says, the Mishnah Berurah brings that, but it seems like the minute people do say that, they say Baruch Rafei Chaylim, but nobody says it with Hashem's name. Okay. Hanichlas Beis Akisei.
Someone tried to bring that up today and said it's a raya for free healthcare in America. Legitimately.
What do you mean it's a raya for free healthcare?
The right to chinam. So it's free.
Oh.
You see, in the Torah it says it should be free.
Okay, I hear that.
No, please don't hear that.
Bunch of traitors.
No, I'm saying you say it says right v'chinam. There you go. Okay. Anyways, hanichlas beis hakisei. When you go into the bathroom, this is another halacha that we don't keep. When you go into the bathroom,
That's only the people who think that government is God.
Super Tuesday today, huh? So yeah. Anyways, hanichnas lebeis hakisei. So when you go to beis hakisei, I'm hischabdu mechubadim. Kedaishim Mesharsei Elyon. You should be mechubed the Kedaishim and the Mesharsei Elyon, the Malachim that serve above. Tnu covered the Kei Yisrael. Harfu mimeni achechanis ve'eser ritzayni. Wait for me here until I do my thing in the bathroom, then I'm going to come back to you. Basically, what this is doing is you're telling the Malachim, it's not respectful for you to come into the bathroom with me, so wait here for me to do my thing, and then I'm going to come back out to you. Right? So Amar Abaya, and this is also brought in Shulchan Aruch, by the way. So Amar Abaya, don't say this, because perhaps they're going to leave you and they're going to abandon you. Right? Shamruni, Shamruni, Azruni, Azruni, Samchuni, Samchuni, Hamtinuli, Hamtinuli, Achekanis ve'etzer. So basically you're using terms of watch me and help me, meaning, and you're telling the Malachim that I still need you, instead of telling you, wait outside because I don't need you here. I don't know if it's saying I don't need you here, but wait outside until I'm done, right? And then here you're saying, no, I need you, and just wait for me for a minute, yeah? But that's the derech of people that they have to go to the bathroom. So that's what you tell them, Allah. Okay, I don't think the minhag do either one of these. When you leave the bathroom, what do you say? Holes. It's known in front of your kiseh covered. If one of them opens, or if one of the openings closes, and you're not able to stand in front of you. And the gra, that's what that aleph there says. And the gra says afilu sha'achas, even 1 hour. So my chasim, which is a whole controversy, whether you should add in that afilu sha'achas. My chasim. So how do you sign off with the bracha? Amarav ra'ifei chaylim. He's the healer of the sick. Amar Shmuel kashavinu abba lekuli hama katsiri. Right? Are you saying that the whole world is sick? Right? Ella, meaning you're saying ra'ifei chaylim will heal sick. Ella ra'ifei kol basar. What you should say, ra'ifei kol basar. He heals all basar. Right? And Rav Sheshes Amar mafli lases, and he does wonderful things, like wondrous things. Amar Papa, like we had before. Yesterday we had it twice. Hilkach namiru l'tavayu. The Rav Papa says, let's do like both. Which is what we do. We say both. Right? Now, what is the taich over here? So Rashi and Taisus, if you look in the Taisus, mafli lasos, yeah? So he says, Taisus says, is that normally, you wouldn't have to see the Taisus inside, but he says normally anything that has a hole in it deflates. Right? You have a balloon, a tire, right? If you have holes in it, it deflates. The human body is the only thing that, alavai, some of us should deflate, but the human body doesn't totally, doesn't deflate at all, meaning all the air doesn't go out of it, but even though it has many openings. Okay, fine, weiter. Hanichlas lishon. Anybody who goes to sleep, hamitase on his bed. Omer, Mishema Yisrael ad v'hayim Shemai. Say from Shema Yisrael until v'hayim Shemai. V'aymer Baruch Hamapel Chevle Sheina Al Einai. Right? And we say a bracha that Hashem makes us fall asleep and takes and puts slumber. It's known as slumber al afapayim, my eyelids. U meir liishon pasayin yiratz mafanecha Hashem elakash tashkiveni l'shalom. I should sleep b'shalom. Saying chalki b'sarasecha. Sargelenu li de mitzvah, targelenu li avera, valtavienu li de chet, li de aban, li de zayin, li de bizayin, yishla bi yetzer toiv, al yishla bi yetzer hara, v'satzina mepegara, mechalayim rayim, v'al yivaluni, chalayim esrayim, v'rahurim rayim, v'tevi tasi shlema, l'fanecha, v'er'ene, pen ishan amaves, baruch hashem, hameir la'olam kula b'chvayde. Fine. Yeah, so that's called Krias Shema hamita, and that's the bracha of hamapil. Yes, I personally never said this bracha in my life. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that is the halach in Shulchan Aruch, is that you're supposed to do all this. Kalman, I'm sure you do this. Is he gone?
Rabbi, I also don't say hamapil. I don't know why, because my brother used to tell me you're not sure you're gonna fall asleep for this.
Right, so that's the main excuse.
They don't say hamapil, or you say without changing.
The main excuse is because you're not going to fall asleep. Now, it's an interesting machlokes.
Why don't you take an Avian?
I get shilas every once in a while, text from Fruma guys who already said hamapil, and now they're hungry, they're thirsty, they need to say something, and they text and they do this. So it's actually a machlokes what the bracha of hamapil is. Mishnah Berurah is very machmir. Mishnah Berurah says that hamapil is going on the sleep itself, and once you make the bracha hamapil, you're not allowed to talk anymore. Chochmas Adam is more makel. He says that the hamapil is just going on the concept of sleeping, right? So if the shalas, can you rely on the Chochmas Adam, which b'shas atchak you can rely on him, but l'chatchila, once you make the bracha hamapil, you shouldn't be mafsik anymore before falling asleep. So those that have trouble falling asleep, that's where the minute came to not say hamapil. Yeah, fine, okay. Timasar, when you wake up, right now this is all very familiar brachos. I'm a kind of neshama shenasatabi tahira, right? Then my neshama is pure. Ata yatzar, you created me. Ata nefachtabi, you blew it into me. Ata mashamra kirbi, and you watched it. This is a song, parrots. Yeah, these parrots are singing it. There you go. Right? Ata osid et lami meni v'lachzira bi la'asid lava kozman shenashama v'kiri ma'adani l'fenecha Hashem l'kai v'lkai v'zai. I hope everybody is familiar with that bracha, right? Now, kishama kol tarnagol, when you hear the tarnagol, what do you call it? The rooster, whatever, making the noise.
But before you move on to Yaakov, before you move on, what's shot that Elokai Neshama moves around depending on where you come from, what minhag you use?
Oh, but that's totally in whether you want bracha asmucha lechavrta, right? So if you want to, because Elokai Neshama doesn't start with a bracha to Hashem, but it ends with bracha to Hashem. So some say you should put it next to another bracha, which is after Asher yatzar. Others are not so concerned with that. That's the pshat in the machlokes, right? So now tarnagol when it crows, good. So it says Asher nosan lasechvi, which not everybody translates.
Yeah, but what do you do about Elokai Neshama? What do you say?
What?
What do you say that Elokai Neshama?
I say it in my kitchen every morning.
No, I mean after yatzar, or
I say it after Asher yatzar. Yeah. So Asher nosan lasechvi v'ina lavnu miyom ve'layla. Right, so you gave us to know the difference between night and day. When you open your eyes, so it's interesting. You should say this bracha before you even open your eyes, because you hear the rooster crowing, right? Then you make that bracha, right? So that's a thing. So what about washing the hands, right? So unless you go with your eyes closed and wash your hands. When you open your eyes, right? Who gives light to the blind. Keep turrets. When you get up, right, so then you say Mater Asurim, who releases those that are Asur, that you're able to get out of bed. Ki lavish, when you put on clothing, Lema Baruch Malvish Arumim, you who clothes those that are naked. Ki Zakif, when you stand up, Lema Baruch Saikif Kufim, he stands up those that fold over. No, he's sitting up from there. Ki Nachis La'ara, when you put your feet on the ground, Lema Baruch Raika Aretz Alamayim, right, who planted the land on the water. Ki Maski, Lema Baruch, when you start walking, Lema Baruch HaMechem Mitzadei Gavar, right, who straighten that, who makes the feet work, right? Kisayim Basani, when you put on your shoes, Lema Baruch Shasali Kotzarki, who does all my tzarech. It's a machlokes on Yom Kippur and Tisha B'av when we don't put on shoes, whether you should make the bracha Shasali Kotzarki, right? Ki Aser Hamyuna, when you put on your belt, Lema Baruch Aiza Yizal B'Gvura. Ki Paras Sudra Al Reshim, when you put your hat on your head, Lema Baruch Aita Yisal B'Safara. Kimata Petzitzis, Lema Baruch Hashem, L'Shem V'Tzotz, V'Tzvona L'Santa Petzitzis. Kimonach Tefillin, Adari on your arm, Lema Baruch Hashem, L'Shem V'Tzotz, V'Tzvona L'Aniach Tefillin. Areshe, and on the head, Lema Baruch Hashem, L'Shem V'Tzotz, V'Tzvona L'Mitzvah Tefillin.
Tomorrow?
Kimashi Yodeh, of course, with that.
I thought the second, I don't know. I always
Kimashi, yes, so that's part of the kasha. That's part of the kasha in this Gemara. Kimashi Yodeh, when you wash your hands, Lema Baruch Hashem, L'Shem V'Tzotz, V'Tzvona L'Tilas Yadayim. Kimashi Ape, when you wash your face, which is, by the way, you're supposed to wash your face in the morning. Lema Baruch Hamavri Chevle Shena Ve'eno Snava V'Apefoi. Piro Tzama Fanecha Hashem Elikai Shetargelenu V'Sarasech V'Tabekenu V'Tzasech V'Altavienu V'Loy L'dei Chet V'Loy L'dei Avain V'Loy L'dei Zoylim V'Loy L'dei Bizayin V'Chayvis Yisri L'Shtabilach V'Rachkani Me'Adam Ra. So we have a little bit different version of this, and make me go stay far away from bad people, or Mechaverim from bad friends, V'Tabekenu V'Yatzar Toiv, with a chaver type, and I should be stuck to the good yatzar hara, and good friends by lamcha. I hope everybody remembers and knows this bracha. Yeah.
Osh wants to know at what point do you say Shalai Sani Isha?
That's a good question. I don't know when you say that. You should be at the top of your list. But
when you meet the wife in the morning, she starts giving you over the head. That's when you say Shalai Sani Isha.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But if you get out of the house before the wife's up, then you don't have that issue, Kalman.
Yaakov.
Yeah, try that, Kalman, maybe, you know?
Yaakov.
Yes.
If you sleep during the day for ever certain amount of time, you have to say all kind of shema again?
No, we don't say any of these brochos. Only once a day. Right?
Berachos HaTorah is a Shaila, Rabbi, no?
Berachos HaTorah, we don't do Berachos HaTorah either. Now, obviously, nowadays, our minig, in Shulchan Aruch, this is the way it's meant to be done. As you go through all these processes in the morning, you're supposed to make each bracha. But obviously, we no longer do that, and we make them all together in Shul. Yeah?
Before or after?
Yeah?
Yaakov, should you say Asher Yatzar before or after Alan Tisadayim?
You should make it, well, it depends what's going to be going on, but it's a big machlokes exactly when to make Alan Tisadayim. Should you do it right before davening, or should you do it in the morning right away? I personally make it later. Once I say right before I make all the rest of the brachos. Right?
Doesn't the Goin say you should make it twice, Rabbi?
Yeah, but that's a big machlokes whether you should or shouldn't do that.
So you're supposed to make it after you come out of the bathroom.
What?
When you first wake up, you make it after you come out of the bathroom.
What? Netilas Yadayim? No, but some hold you shouldn't do that. Some hold you should wait to make Netilas Yadayim and Asher Yatzar as part of the davening. Right? Now, the Taisus here discusses why on the Shel Yad you make Lo Aniach Tefillin, on the Shel Rosh you make Al Mitzvahs, okay? Because you only make Al Mitzvahs because you already put it on your arm, so you already did the Hanocha of the Tefillin. Okay, that's a different sugya. Okay, fine.
Some people only.
What?
Some people make one bracha, no?
Yes, Sfard. Yeah, Sfard. Okay, Chayav Adam Levarich. Bez Hashem, when we get to Menachos, we'll learn that sugya, but that's a long ways off. Bez Hashem. Okay, Chayav Adam Levarich. My Chayav Levarich. Ala Ra, Kashem Levarich Ala Taiva. What does it mean that you're chayav to make a bracha on bad, just like you're supposed to make a bracha on good? Ilam Kashem Levarich Ala Taiva, HaTaiva Meitiv, Kach Levarich Ala Ra, Taiva Meitiv. If it means that just like on the good you say HaTaiva Meitiv, so on the bad you also say HaTaiva Meitiv. Hatanan Abasuras Taiva Saimer HaTaiva Meitiv. But we said in the Mishnah, on good news, you say HaTaiva Meitiv. Absuras Rais, Amir Baruch Dayan Emes. On bad news, you say Baruch Dayan Emes. So clearly, you're not making the same bracha on good news as you are on bad news. We're saying that you should be makabel both the bad news and the good news. B'simcha. Meaning you're supposed to thank Hashem, start for the chesed and the mishpat. Mishpat is normally not a good thing. Mishmuel ben Nachmani Omer mehocha b'Hashem halodavar b'Elikim halodavar. B'Hashem halodavar zu mida toiva b'Elikim halodavar zu mida peranis. That's a bad thing. Rav Tanchum Omer mehocha kois yeshuas asa v'Hashem Hashem ekra tzara v'yoganem tzava Hashem Hashem ekra. That's another song for you, parents. Right? So you see, so on Tsaras you also are calling out to Hashem. Right? So Hashem gives and Hashem takes. But Hashem should be benched either way. Decide whether he gives to you, decide whether he takes from you. But a person should always say, everything Hashem did is for the good. Rabbi Kiva, like the story of Rabbi Kiva, Rabbi Kiva was traveling. He got to that city, and he trying to look for a place to sleep. But they didn't give him a place to sleep. Amar called David Rahman al-Tab. And whatever Hashem does is for the good. He went and he slept in the fields. And he had with him a tarnagoyla, a rooster, a chamra, and a donkey, a sharga, and a light. Also zika, kavi l'sharga, and then a wind came and blew out his candle. Also shunra, this almost sounds like chadgadya. Yeah. Also shunra came along a cat, an achli l'tarnagoyla, and ate his rooster. Also arya achli l'chamra, and then a lion came and ate his chamra. His chamor, his donkey. So now he's got nothing. He's got no place to sleep, and he's got all his belongings are gone. Omar called over Rahman Latab. Anything Hashem does is for good. Latab. So Belayla also Gaisa, and that night came a army, Shavi Lamasa, and captured the whole town. Amrlahu, Lav Amrlahu Kamasha Sakadosh Baruch Hu Hakol L'Tayva. Didn't I say that everything Hashem does is for the good? Right, so that's what you constantly have to think. So of course, anytime anybody misses a plane, they expect to turn on the radio and hear that the plane blew up. But that's not usually what goes on. I mean, it's not so easy like this to figure out that everything that Hashem does is for the good, but that's what we are supposed to do. And if you do that, you'll actually have a much happier life, right? It works. It's not easy to do, but seemingly it works. Those people that are saying that are constantly the happy ones. All right, Gute Nacht, everybody.
I had an idea, and we can make money for the fundraising of the daf. We can now advertise it. Pandejo, you can send it out to your thing. Anybody who does the daf is welcome to join for $10. Anybody who's quarantined, they can join the daf, but they got to pay for a token. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll change the name to COVID-19 daf.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Tzviakov, did you see the Psach Be'er Shachter?
No.
They asked whatever one of these communities asked him about Megillah reading. So he said that if you're quarantined, you can be yatzar Megillah on Skype or over the phone.
Oh yeah, that's not such a chiddush. That's not a chiddush. What? You think that's not such a chiddush to be yatzar on Skype? Ramesha seems to say that you would be able to. But
the question is if we can make a minion like this.
What?
We can make a minion
on the
like
Zoom
this.
call. On the Zoom call. On the Zoom call.
Yeah, maybe. Listen.
But no, he said though, if you're not with a minion, if the guy who's reading is reading for everyone who's in different places, you skip one of the brachos.
Is this when you have to get dressed?
That's a good question.
Who's there? He's still here.
One person asked me about it today. How you do? I don't know. The shaila is it better for you to read it from a chumash?
And I go into the
car. Or both?
I got all nauseous. I was about to walk, so I just went back home.
No?
You can read it from Megillah.
What?
I love this.
You read directly from Megillah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if you can read Megillah from
What's that? Why can't we post the picture of the cloth?
What's that going to do for you?
Or have that as your background at least.
Yeah. I hear. I guess I can't hurt, but I don't think it's going to do anything. I don't think it'll do anything for you. Question is, why can't somebody bring by a Megillah the same way they bring you by food? No?
You're assuming people can lane it themselves, though, properly.
No, so that's the thing. So that already you can listen. That's what we discussed. I didn't discuss it last night in the share. I discussed it tonight in the share. That other share. You can have it playing in your ear, and then you can read along from the Megillah. Meaning you have somebody's Megillah laying in a headphone.
Okay, and follow along.
And you read it out loud, and then you'll know how to read it properly.
Megillah also, you only need a majority, I thought. Like, even if you mess up a lot, you're still yaitza, no?
Correct. You need 50. Well, no, you do it by pet.
Only like half of it.
If you do it up to 50% by pet, that works.
Rabbi, I have a question on Rabbi Akiva's story. Why wasn't it enough?
Why what?
Why wasn't it enough for Rabbi Akiva to say, Man David Rachmana L'Tav Avid, that the Aryeh didn't eat him, the Ari didn't eat him, it ate the Chamor. It could have ate him.
I hear.
The 18-wheeler.
So what do you?
That's one of my big things that I always hated with my Rabbeim would say, you have to be thankful you could have been part of the Holocaust.
Your Rebbeim said that?
I had a Rebbe, he used to talk like that all the time. Are you complaining about the breakfast? In the Holocaust, they didn't have anything. I said, you're a moron. We're not in the Holocaust right now. I don't live my life thinking, okay, it could be the worst possible thing in the world. I could thank Hashem for enough things. I don't need to thank Hashem that I'm not in the Holocaust.
Tiago, who was that story with where he asked if he should bench Goimel?
What?
The what?
Where he asked him if he should bench Goimel, and he says, I was almost in an accident, and he turns to the clothesline, and he goes, you see those pants that my wife is beating out on the clothesline? I was in those yesterday. I could have been in them today.
Right, that was Rabik.
Ah, yeah. Shut up, Soil.
That's my point. I don't live my life like that. There's enough to thank Hashem about.
He says you should live your life like that.
I'm saying this, Rebbe, apparently.
Okay,
Are you going to be here tomorrow night, Taco?
I'm the 9th, yeah. My flight's 11:30.
What role? You have to thank Hashem.
If I get on,
your Rebbe said it like that.
What'd you say?
Sro, my Rebbe used to say, I shot you weren't in the Holocaust.
I hear that. Yeah.
Yosef, who is that person, Yosef? Yosef, who is that guy?
He doesn't hear you.
Recording.
All right, anyways, I got to sign off. I got people here.
All right.
Did they call you yet from the car?
What? No, yes. They're between 8 and 11 tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Rabbi,
does this mean
Rabbi, when are you leaving?
Tomorrow night.
Where are you going to go hear Zachar? Where are you going to hear Zachar, Rabbi?
I don't know. You tell me where I should. I'm going to go wherever your father goes. I figure I'm good that way.
It's a long list where he goes. It's a long list.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure they do every dialect and every this and every that.
Yeah.
You could go with the Moshe right before Shkia. You could hear everything right before Shkia.
Yes, that's so. Maybe that would be entertaining.
It's very entertaining.
Right
they
before,
have Friday,
right
they have
Shkia?
Because that Moshe, what do you think? Because it can be normal at 9 o'clock in the morning. It has to be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everything has to be not normal over there.
I hear. Okay, I'm going to try that out.
Hold on, Siakov, the car's coming tomorrow. That means I get to use it a whole week.
No, but it's not registered. I got to register it and I got to put on insurance.
What car?
Ikovic got me a Fiat 500 stick shift lime green.